Hey guys, Craig Lewis here. Third video, going to be talking about the third album release from the one and only Disturbed, celebrating 20 years of Disturbed, 2 decades of Disturbed, and really looking forward to doing this third release. It's a live release because the first two releases are studio albums, and this one is actually titled Music as a Weapon 2. I'll show it to you right now. Here we go. Sorry about the glare, but yeah, Music as a Weapon 2. Um, this was a live album Disturbed put out based on their tours at that of 2003. They were touring off of the second album, Believe, and so it's we got Disturbed's the headliner, Chevelle, Taproot, and Unloco. So I'll give you some of the facts on this album, but I like the logo on the cover, especially the top. The M and the W and the two A's and the Roman numeral 2 at the top there is really cool how they did that. So do a kind of a zoom in on that so you can see that. Sorry about the glare that I'm trying to get, but yeah, it's that two, the M, the W, and the two A's and the Roman numeral 2 is just incredible. So you guys, I'll get into some of the facts of the album here before I get into the track listing. But so you guys, so yeah, this album was released on February 24th of 2004 on Reprise Records. Music as a Weapon is a series of concert tours created by Disturbed. There have been 7 editions of the tour, 5 in the US and 2 in Australia. The name of the tour comes from the lyrics in the Disturbed song Droppin' Plates, which is track 10 on the first album, The Sickness. What a great name for a tour, though. Music as a Weapon. So let's see, and a few more facts about the album. Music as a Weapon 2 was recorded as a live album, like I said, and also a DVD, which I don't have, which I may try to hunt down at some point because I would like to have that part of my collection. They do have some live performances of it from on YouTube, which I can still see, but I like to actually have the actual physical copy of the DVD because when I got my copy of the CD, the DVD wasn't available around that time, or at least I couldn't find it, or I didn't even know it was available really until now, really. So, but now that I know, I'm gonna have to try to hunt it down. But so yeah, this live album and DVD was recorded at the Aragon in Chicago in 2003 and released in 2004, which I said February 24th of 04 on Reprise Records. This release was the last release with Disturbed's bassist Steve Fuzz K-Mac, and then like I said, they had to let him go. I think in 2004, I think it was. I think they said. So also the band Unloco, who was on this tour with Disturbed, this was their final release before splitting up. So anyway, that's pretty much the facts. Oh, and yeah, the last thing is this album peaked, Music as a Weapon 2 peaked at 148 on the Billboard 200 of that year of 2000, well, when it was released, 2004. So anyway, so there's the facts of the album. Now I'm gonna definitely jump into the album itself. There's 14 tracks on the album, and I'll get it started here. Track 1 starts out, the concert starts out with with Disturbed, and it's an instrumental called "Loading the Weapon." What an instrumental to lead into a concert, though. I'm gonna post uh, a live performance of it that I found on YouTube on my Facebook page here soon, or yeah, after I release this YouTube video. So yeah, it's a great lead-in intro to a concert. It picks up in intensity. Dan's guitar just kills. Great to hear the crowd as well, to get this thing going and rolling. So that's track one, is "Loading the Weapon." Loved it. So we'll move on to track two, is "Bound," which is from Believe, um, and they were touring off of Believe, so they're gonna obviously play quite a bit of stuff from Believe, which I think is really cool. So yeah, it's a hardcore single to start out the show with, after "Loading the Weapon" leading into it. Great sounding live. Um, thing I want to mention, studio versions, on the albums are always so tight and polished, which I love. Um, but hearing them played, live can add a lot to the song, the song, and also how they approach the song, adding little bits and pieces, and intricacies, you only get, when it's played live, and that's what I like, when I've seen concerts, and that you get those little intricacies in songs that you don't get on the album version or the studio. I mean, the studio versions are polished and incredible, but the live versions are kind of something to look forward to too, because you get you know little ad libbing going on in the song, and pretty fun to experience. So that I picked up on, and I really liked. Listened back to this album. Like I said, I got my copy here in 2000. Well, I got it when it came out, pretty much in 2004 when it was released. I think I got it. I don't know what year, or what time of the year I came out. Like I said, it released in February of 24th. So I think I got it maybe in the spring or summer of that year. So yeah, I'm gonna move on to track three. Is a song from Taproot, which I'm not familiar with them at all. A song called "Myself." Um, Not a huge fan of this song. I'll be honest with you. When I got the album, I didn't really pay too much attention to some of these other bands on the album, because I, was mainly wanting to hear Disturbed. But giving it a second listen last night, I kind of gave these other bands a chance. So yeah, Taproot. Not a huge fan of the music of theirs, but I do got to give them props for getting on the tour. But overall, the song didn't really do much for me. It was heavy in spots, and I enjoyed some of the heaviness in it, but won't spend too much time on track three. So we'll move on to track four, is unreleased song of Disturbed's that was never on an album, but they performed it on this tour. It's called "Dehumanized," and I absolutely love this song. Like you guys wouldn't believe, when I first listened to this album, this "Dehumanized," I really connected with. Um, like I say, I can totally relate to the song, because I felt dehumanized a lot of my life, in certain situations and with certain people. So upon hearing this song, I connected to it right away. Um, like I said, especially with my job, I felt dehumanized quite a bit, from a customer standpoint, and also um, with management on a few occasions. But um, so think where I want to go with that. well, I just want to say I connect with this on so many levels. So um, just really, it helped me a lot in many, in many, many ways. So that's Dehumanized. So you guys will move on to track five is Forfeit by the band Chevelle. I've always kind of liked Chevelle. Don't know too much about them, but I have always liked them. Pretty darn good band. Like I say, I don't know them real well. I know, but I always have liked their song, The Clincher. I don't know if you guys have heard The Clincher by Chevelle, but I'd recommend it. It's a damn good song by them. But yeah, Forfeit here is okay. Doesn't grab me a ton. Like what they bring to the table though. Bass guitar is always strong with Chevelle. Bass guitar, especially in that song, The Clincher, I was mentioning. Yeah, that the bass guitar and the Clincher is just off the charts. But the vocals, the lead singer for Chevelle's vocals, pretty pretty darn awesome too, and on point. I've always liked. So we'll move on to track six is Fade to Black from Disturbed, their cover of great Metallica cover. I just listened to Fade to Black, Metallica's Fade to Black, after listening to Disturbed's cover of it, and uh, incredible, incredible, incredible. It's great hearing it again. Dan's guitar is on point, very strong. Dan switches to an acoustic, um, you know, during or like towards the beginning of the song as well. And David's vocals are heavenly and strong with a ton of power and emotion in it. Um, they kill this track. Took me to the mountaintop. Love it, love it, love it. Enjoyed it to the fullest. So probably one of the highlights of the album for me too, along with Dehumanized. And I mean, Disturbed just kills it. We'll move on to track seven, Empty by the band Unloco. Um, like I say, I don't know too much about this band either. I'm on the fence with them. Song is okay. Doesn't do too much for me. Props again for this band getting on the tour. It does hit hard in spots. Liked a few of the breakdowns, but I'm not gonna spend too much time on this one. Um, but props to Unloco. Sorry to hear that they had broke up after split up after this release, but we'll move on to track eight, called Sometimes by Taproot. Musically, I like where they took this song as opposed to the earlier one, Myself. It's more melodic, like it better, more polished. I give them props on the track. Um, hits pretty hard. 2/3 of the way through, vocals are pretty good too. Um, Thumbs up to Taproot on this one. Got to give it up to him. Good guitar at the end as well. Moving on to track nine, Darkness by Disturbed. Sweet to hear this live. Like I said, this hits just as hard as their hard hitting stuff. Uh, it just sounds so good live. David kills it. Great acoustic somber ballad, haunting. Loved it. Another highlight of listening to this again, going back in time, appreciating it so much more. Move on to track 10, Bruises by Unloco. I like the heaviness to it, and have some respect for it, but on the fence with it. Doesn't really do a whole lot of for me. Moving on to track 11, Prayer by Disturbed. Sounds awesome live. Sounds very close to the studio version, which the studio version, like I said, is incredible off of Believe. That's the opener, like I said, Prayer. Great opener, but I mean, to hear this live was just blew my mind. And like I said, I just watched it for the first time on YouTube last night, and just incredible. the band sounds awesome on it, just like the studio version. I mean, the live version is almost identical to the studio version. So really, really, really enjoyed that a lot. Um, Moving on, we'll go to track 12, called "The Red" by Chevelle. Middle ground on this one, kind of, you know, not liking or not loving it, and not, disliking it, but just middle ground. Kind of catchy. Um, I felt it needed a little bit more to it. Some good jamming in there in spots. Good band though, Chevelle. Like I said, I've always liked Chevelle. I like what they bring to the table, and again, the clincher. If I had to mention that, like what, the third time now, but uh, the clinchers is one of my favorite song from Chevelle. Moving on, track 13, "Poem" by Taproot. Again, I could take it or leave it. Doesn't have that X factor that grabs you. Not a fan of it, but props to Taproot for getting on the tour. And to end the album off, we got track 14 is "Stupefy" um, by Disturbed, and off of their first album, The Sickness. Um, Really awesome to hear this played live. Um, and Disturbed, they definitely have that X factor I'm talking about. They have the star power that you look for, and they just are head and shoulders, I mean, above. So so much power, emotion, to the nth degree. Um, Energy off the charts. Awesome song. I love Disturbed so much, and like I say, I always will till my dying day. So um, David's vocals, like I say, out of this world. Band rocks hardcore, and one hell of a finish to the Stupefy. So that's pretty much the album, you guys. Love it, love it, love it, love it. And um, like I said, this was uh, live, uh, a live release, which was cool to have Disturbed do a live release after having the first two studio albums, and and I like the name of the tour, "Music as a Weapon." Uh, So we're going on almost 18 minutes here, so I'll probably wrap it up. But hope you enjoyed listening to this review of the Music as a Weapon 2 release. Give you the album cover before I sign off. Uh, so get the glare off of there. So yeah, Music as a Weapon 2. And like I say, I can't remember where I got my copy of this, but really enjoyed it a lot. Really enjoyed it listening to it again, and I think I might have gotten it at Target or Best Buy, but it's been so long. I got it in 2004, so that's like 16 years ago. But really awesome. And again, I'll try to zoom in on that Music as a Weapon 2. Um, just like that a lot. So I'll show you the back here too. I got Clint Josie Wales behind me here too. But here's the back of the CD. David's fist in the air there. So pretty darn sweet, you guys. But I'll wrap it up. Um, I got my fist in the air for Disturbed, like I said, and my devil horns too. So hang in there. Um, and I look forward to doing the next review of Disturbed's 10,000 Fists, their third studio album. So that one's coming up probably next week. So hang in there. Love you guys, and peace.